Okay everyone, this is a follow-up video to yesterday's video I made about the problem I'm having with the Canon 5D Mark IV. If you're not sure what this is about, go and see my previous video. I'll link it in the description about a problem where the camera is randomly powering off, especially when you move the camera about on a tripod or hold the lens with your hand or turn on autofocus. I posted the video up last night and a friend of mine actually got in touch, Paul Martin. He used to have Canon cameras and he made a couple of suggestions. Two of them, in fact. He actually said that he had an issue years ago with, I think it was his 6D, having power problems, and it turned out it was the battery grip that was draining power from the camera. So that was one possibility. And the second option Paul mentioned was, in the previous video I mentioned I didn't have a battery cover for the main camera. I lost the latch years ago and I never really needed it because I always had the battery grip attached. So he suggested actually getting that replaced just to test out the individual batteries inside the camera to see if the camera still works with them, and again as a process of elimination, deciding if the battery grip is a problem or is it the camera or is it the batteries. So anyway, I bought a battery cover last night off Amazon. It arrived today. I removed the battery grip completely and I've put in this new battery cover here. Excuse the autofocus on this phone. And I've inserted one of my batteries. So I'm turning the camera on. I have my autofocus on the lens here. Okay, autofocus working, camera appears to be working. Normally if I have the autofocus activated on the lens, it will eventually just stop working and go black and lose power. But this is autofocusing every time here as I click this, and there's no issues. And now if I actually hold the camera, even if I hold this lens to the front, previously this caused the camera to power off. So I'm holding the front of this Tamron lens. There's Rue over here. And so far, I'm clicking away here. Again, excuse this mobile phone, doesn't want to focus on my camera today for some reason. So it's still working. So that's interesting. So the next thing I wanted to do was attach it to my camera, so I pretend I'm on a night shoot where I had problems on the previous night. So bear with me here. So the camera is attached to a tripod, and this time I'm going to deactivate the autofocus and image stabilization because it's nighttime, you don't need those on. It's a manual lens anyway, so I'm pretending at night time here. I'm going to just do a short exposure, say 2 seconds, aperture wide open, 1600 ISO. Even though it'll blow everything out, I just pretend it's nighttime. So taking an exposure, camera works. And the ultimate test of all, at night time, if I tilt this tripod, even if I manhandle this tripod and move the camera around, it turns off. And at the minute, it's not doing that. And if I turn the camera at a steep angle, a 45-degree angle to shoot overhead or somewhere below the zenith, the camera would power off completely and it wouldn't work at all. It couldn't even take images. So this is the final test. You can see the camera is at a steep angle. And again, taking exposures. Bingo, that worked fine. Again, it's not powering off. So I'm going to pretend I'm taking a time lapse. There, it's taking a 2-second exposure with a 1-second interval as per the built-in intervalometer, and it's working. Now this is very, very interesting. I need to thank Paul Martin for this suggestion. This is actually very clever thinking. The idea was to start at the bottom at the cheapest solution, figure out what's wrong and work our way up to the more expensive solution and take it from there. And it seems like buying a battery latch for the door has helped. It's got me back in action, and it's also proved that the battery grip is the problem. So I'm going to turn that off a second. So this is the problem here. All along, I've had battery grip from the very start since I had this camera, never had an issue with it, but clearly this is somehow draining power from the main camera, and that's been the issue the entire time. So what I'll do is I'll just use the camera as it is in the meantime with one battery inside. I'll have the other battery charged for backup, and then I'll get around to buying a brand new battery grip. So that appears to be the problem. I just discovered this literally within 10 minutes of that new battery cover arriving in the post, and everything appears to be okay so far. So if you have a problem with your camera powering off on you like this, double check the batteries and remove the battery grip, insert your batteries and try it that way and see if it works. Process of elimination. So this was the problem all along. I'll get a new one. So thanks very much to Paul again. This was a brilliant, inexpensive, simple solution. $8.99 battery cover has saved a lot of money in comparison to sending it into a dealer to get fixed. So far so good. I'll let you know how I get on, and with better luck, that's me back in action. And if there's any more issues, I'll make another video. So thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.